You also have, some doctors will tell you that you might not get back to bread. I did, and very lucky that I got back to bread. It was months before I could. But I eat now rolls, bread, pizza, anything with dough. But my doctor did tell me that some people don't get back to eating bread. And when you take bread out of the equation, it's very hard to think of things that you can have without bread in them. I have this thing about big meals. I see everything as being big. So I do tend to cut it up, like for example a sandwich I'll cut into 4 triangles, and that seems like easy enough for me to tackle, and I can have a whole sandwich for lunch. But it seems easier to tackle in that form than in just cut in half, like the 2 halves just seem so big to me. So I do cut my food up. A typical day now for me, 2 years on, and I can eat anything, would be maybe a crumpet or even 2 in the morning. Sugar dumping is something that I experience, and it happens because there are sweet things and concentrated sugar, and sugar dumping makes you feel nauseated without throwing up. It makes you feel rotten in the stomach, almost like an anxiety attack for the first 10 minutes, and then you just feel like you want to curl up into a ball. It can last anywhere from a half hour to an hour, makes you wobbly on your legs, so you tend to stick away from the really sweet stuff. I can have sweet stuff, but in moderation. Like I can have maybe 3 tablespoons of chocolate mousse, but restaurants will put a sweet sauce, a syrup on top, with a cherry on top to make it look presentable. Well, I can't have the syrup. Ice cream, I can have a lick or a bite, or maybe 2 teaspoons of ice cream, but after that, no, that will give me sugar dumping. But the strangest thing is, I can eat lollies, but again, you have to be careful. Like I tend to have the musk lifesavers and fruit tingles, and I'll have those in my drawer, and I'll have maybe 2 or 3 of those at a time. But if I try and eat 6 or 7 at a time, then that will give me dumping as well. So it's all a matter of trial and error. Now, getting back to my typical day, after breakfast I will have something mid-morning. Some days I'll go from nothing and right up to lunchtime, and then I think, oh yes, I feel empty, so I need to eat. But other times I feel like, yes, I want something, just because of the vast emptiness in my stomach. That's how I feel now. It's not hunger, it's just like an emptiness there. And then I'll have something for afternoon, and I will have dinner, and then something again. Typical dinner is, I could have a leg of chicken. I will have maybe 2 or 3 chapped potatoes roasted, or even mashed potato, just a small serving. And if I choose to have a full cob of corn, then that's it for the vegetables. Otherwise, cut down, have a small cob of corn and some other veggies. It's a progression. As I said, when I first started out, it would be enough that I have a small amount of perhaps spinach, or with a tiny little bit of meat. And then I'd notice another month down the track that I was eating a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. So it's a very slow process, and you have to have patience. Energy-wise, when I first came home, I would just lay on the lounge all day and not do anything. I just didn't seem to have any energy. I wondered whether it would ever build up. We do have to take vitamins, and I tend to worry about the size of the tablet, or can't seem to find vitamins in capsules or multivitamins. So I had the Centrum chewable, and I'd have 2 of those in the morning and 2 at night. And that suited me for months and months, until I felt comfortable that my stomach wasn't going to collapse anymore and I could take tablets. Like a way of taking tablets is to just cut them up into 4s, but because it's a slow process of getting one down and waiting, and it could take me a couple of hours to have those tablets. everything is so very slow, and your energy is the same. And I think everybody progresses at a different level because of their age and their fitness. I was okay as in my fitness because I had done all the walking previous in that, but I certainly was nowhere near close. I think exercise before the operation is probably pretty important, and I didn't do a whole lot of that to prepare yourself to get ready. So it took me longer. It took me months and months and months before I felt energy. It was enough to do just to get up and go food shopping. That would just set me back on the lounge for another couple of days, just doing that little chore. So housework was quite a few dust bunnies by the time I got around to that. I also found going upstairs, we were looking at houses to buy and went to a couple that were 2-story, but I didn't think that I could cope with the stairs, and whenever I tried stairs I would have to stop on 3 or 4 to get my breath back, and I didn't think in the beginning that I would ever get back to getting up and down stairs. I thought that they were just a thing of the past, but now I can get up them much quicker than other people even. So it does come back to you. It's a progression, and it's a very slow progression, so you have to be patient and let your body heal and run its course. I think that's it for this bit. Thank you.